Wes,
Did we do it?
we did it. What's up, man?
Technology, man, technology.
Yeah, I mean, we just got somebody from New Zealand checking in. How rad is that?
Oh, from Down Under.
Yeah, down under. Hello, down under.
Down Under.
How's your night so far?
Oh, man. It's great.
How's Are you guys getting peppered with the rain up north?
Yeah, we're getting a lot of rain down here. California people are not used to the rain, man. Not
No.
used to the rain. Should I put your AirPods? It might be better.
Whatever you want, man.
Let's try it.
Let's do it.
Let's see. We'll try it while people are setting up over here. Wes.
You've got the whitest teeth ever. It's like, what up, Wes?
What's up, Germs? My man, Germs. All right, I can hear you much better now. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, man. I can hear you. Let's get into this, man. I appreciate you being on the top 3 for recovery with Recovery Rockstars.
Hey, man, I love carrying a message. Or trying.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're doing one hell of a job, man. So for those of you guys who don't know Wes, you're a musician, you're a songwriter, you had your own band, you played in Korn. By the way, I've got my Adidas sweatshirt on. With respect to Korn, man, a little shout out. But you know what? Most importantly, and what I love about you, man, is you're the founder of Rock to Recovery.
You know what? I think I love that the most, too.
You know, I have to tell you, so, you know, I followed you on Instagram, but I saw you one time. So I'm down here in San Diego, and you were on an interview. You were playing at one of the sober houses down here, and It was really cool because they were interviewing you, and they had everybody set up about to jam. And you could see everybody who was in the circle with their instruments, and everybody looked a little tense and nervous.
Oh, yeah.
But once the music started, you just see everybody's confidence elevate. And everybody went into this like therapeutic zone, and it was so rad. And I was just like blown away by, you know, really music does help with therapy and recovery and everything. And, you know, I applaud you for what you're doing.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's really disarming. So most people they say they're not musical. They are like, this isn't for me, this music program. And I get it. We hear it all the time. But once the music starts, right, it starts disarming people. And what it does is it gives people a vehicle to express. And I think I almost drooled on myself. The transformations are incredible. What music does to people energetically, like literally takes them out of feeling dope sick, depression. I hate to use this metaphor, but kind of like when you're drunk, right? Nothing can take you out of your drunkenness. You do some cocaine, all of a sudden you wake up a little bit. I know it's a horrible thing on the recovery show, but it's the same thing. Playing music will overpower all other emotions. So it's kind of like God's emotional cocaine. No, we shouldn't even say it that way.
Yeah, well, let's not go there. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's like it's really powerful and transformative.
Yeah, so you travel all over the country, right? And do this with all different treatment centers. That's fucking rad.
Right. It's fucking rad, and it's fucking rad that I can cuss on here. And sorry, I was trying to adjust something here. I was trying to make it a little brighter. Yeah. So primarily we're in California. Up and down from basically the Mexico border, southern San Diego, LA, Orange County, and we just launched in NorCal. And then we also have a contract now with the Department of Defense. And so they fly us around the country working with wounded warriors.
That's amazing.
Different Air Force and Army bases. Right. So this concept to get people playing music, to get non-musicians to play music is really taken off. And if you really think about it, it was just an idea. It's really incredible that the military's embraced it because they're not traditionally about, let's talk about feelings. It's about suck it up and get out there and do your job, you know, which you're willing to give it all, meaning your soul, your life. So it's really cool that we had such results with wounded warriors with PTSD and trauma and all that, and get to work with our nation's heroes.
Yeah, and I love the story behind how you got started because I think Korn was the last band that you were playing with,
yes,
right?
It's in Oregon too. Sorry, hold on. I left out. We launched in Nashville, And we launched just recently in Portland, Oregon.
Boom.
All right, sorry about that. I got to make sure I let people know because we're in Oregon now. So
Germs 2000. Great question, man. Great question.
yeah, bring it, Germs.
So talk to me. How did you start Rock to Recovery?
Desperation. I got the Korn gig only because I got sober. My addiction destroyed my music career, and I was lost, and I was in my upper 30s, I think it was. My brain's like, you'll never do music again, certainly not sober. So I got the Korn gig because I was sober. I love to share that. They wanted a sober guitar player. The guy I replaced actually died from drinking, so they wanted somebody who wasn't drinking. So when the Korn gig was going away, here I have this great gig. I'm like, yeah, finally made it to the big time. And now Brian, the original guy, is coming back to the band, which is fucking great because it's his band. He should be there. I was like, what the fuck do I do now? And it would have been really easy to go, I am so screwed. Thank you, God. I have no job. I'm in my 40s. I'm a musician. I'm going to be broke. But instead, I was taught a spiritual mantra, which is you can pray for yourself if others are to be helped. And I think that this prayer I gave was the key to changing and unlocking my whole life. I said, God, if I'm supposed to be sober, which clearly I am, and it seems like I'm supposed to be a musician because it's what I've been my whole life, how can I be a musician and be sober and take that and help people and make a living? And this idea came to me out of nowhere, the name and everything. I think because I'm a band guy, we like to have names. Rock to Recovery. And the idea was to take music into treatment centers. See, because I had been in rehab. And in my rehab, we drew pictures, we did yoga, but we didn't have music. And I knew in rehab how powerful music was in changing how everybody felt.
Nice. That's amazing. I got chills from that story. You're living your passion. You're living your dream, man. I love it. So I actually want to get into your story. How long have you been sober now?
11 years. I got sober on the second time. I got sober for a couple of years in 04, and I relapsed because I stopped working on my recovery. And I got sober again on 12/10 of 07. So December 10th of 07, and I've been sober ever since.
Right.
Nights and weekends too.
What's that? That includes weekends too?
Yeah.
I know in your active addiction, you did it all. You smoked a ton of weed. That's what you started with back in high school. Drank like a fucking fish. And then it kind of spiraled cocaine and then meth.
Yeah.
Pretty rich history with addiction.
You know what's weird is I was 15 years old and my stepbrother was like a drug dealer. Not like the typical one, but he always had drugs for his friends. And so at 15 years old, I was already smoking weed, which is like whatever, which is crazy, but like a lot of weed. But then I was doing weed hits, putting cocaine because my brother had cocaine. Sorry, bro. He's not in the room. Hey, dude, I'm sorry.
Yeah, hey, dude over there.
But when I think back, I didn't even think twice about it, for one. And for two, I was only 15 smoking cocaine and weed and going to drafting class. And if you asked me if I had a problem with cocaine, I would say no, because I really wasn't into it. I was just doing it because I was given it, Yeah. So it was bad from an early age.
Yeah. How did you finally get sober?
So I told my brother, it devolved to me. I was drinking and on and off, like we do. We try to control it. I'm going to quit this. I'll just do that, right? But it was never getting better. I finally broke down and told my brother that I'm doing meth and heroin now. And he said, we thought, well, yeah, just drink is okay and smoke a little weed. Okay, fine, I'll quit the hard stuff. But I couldn't. I would not drink for a couple of weeks, and I would have a Corona or something. And then I would be at the dealer's house going, why was that the dealer's house? So basically, he's like, you failed the test. You said you were going to handle it on your own. You couldn't. And the agreement was, now we're going to send you to rehab, or just go on your merry way and do whatever you want. But if you go to rehab, we'll support you. So I went to rehab, and it was a 12-step place. And it was important because it taught me that although I didn't drink booze all day, every day, like what I thought an alcoholic was, it explained the key element, the allergy that I have that other people don't have. That's why when I had a Corona, and I just thought I'm going to have a Corona on a Tuesday night, no big deal, the allergy would hit, and it produced the phenomenon of craving. So then I'm at the dealer's house because now I'll have a shot of Jaeger. And I didn't realize I was doing it, but it wasn't enough. Okay, well, now I need this. Now I need this. And I'm off on a run. And once I read and learned about that, I was like, that explains what my problem's been my whole life. So once I had the self-knowledge and agreed, this is me in this literature, I will do the plan of recovery outlined.
Love it, man. Well, this is a perfect time to segue into your top three. Hit me up. Give me your top 3 tips to stay sober.
Top three tips is number 1, don't do it alone. Einstein says you can't fix the problem with the mind that created it. So I stopped trying to do it on my own, and I let people tell me who had success how they did it. So Tony Robbins says, you want to be successful, follow somebody who has success at what you're doing and do what they do. That's what I did. I found sober people. I found a sober punk rock guitar player who had 15 years. I did what he did. Number 2, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So everybody wants to change, and I wanted to change before I went to rehab, but I didn't know how. Okay, I'm just not going to use today. It's not enough. I adapted a daily routine, and I stick with it, and my daily routine works. I still do it. I wake up and I pray. I check in with God where I'm at, and I don't worry about God and religion too much. I just do it, and I get results. So I kind of check in where I'm at. If I'm struggling that day or if I'm happy or whatever, I give thanks. First thing, thank you for this day. And I kind of say, I need help with this. This is what I'm trying to do. Show me the way. Show me where I can be of service to other people. Help me stay sober today. Help me work on the character defects that are killing me, right? Help me remove fear and ego. So I check in. I read a little bit of some sort of spiritual book in the morning and meditate on it. So the first thing I do when I get up is to get centered in that spiritual, remembering I'm an alcoholic mindset, and get my focus set for the day. And then I meditate. Most days I hit a meeting. I always call other alcoholics. I do gratitude lists. So I have a thing that I do every day. In the beginning, when I was new, I did a meeting every single day. That's what I did. And the last thing is keys to stay sober is when you're struggling, ask for help, right? Like, don't hold it inside. We love to isolate. It's really key to get connected with other people and get a channel set up and not be, have a saying, you can't save your ass and your face at the same time. So I'm here to save my ass. So when I'm having a rough go of it, I reach out like, yo, I'm tripping today, and I get support.
Love it.
But the key is, don't just go around whining to everybody. I'll talk myself through it. I get support and feedback, and then I turn my focus to other people and helping other people and being of service. Because most people, I'm drooling on myself again.
You're excited.
Most people, when they're having a bad day, they're thinking about, especially alkies and drug addicts, they're thinking about themselves. They're thinking about themselves. What they didn't get that they want, what they're going to lose that they don't want to lose, how they screwed something up. They're worried about the future. It's self-centered fear.
Yeah.
So what I have to do is change that channel. And the key for me in staying sober is being of service to other people. If I'm chasing money, property, prestige, fame, chicks, clothes, never going to work. But when I go out there to try to be of service to other people, that makes my heart full.
Well, you're being of service right now to all these people watching, and I applaud and I appreciate you, man. I really do. Before we go, though,
do they know your story? Does everybody know your story?
No, some people, yes. What's that?
Can I just say in a synopsis?
Sure, I can, because you're asking.
Well, I was going to say, you lost 3 people close to you. Yeah, go. Ready?
I lost 3. Yeah, a lot of people don't know this about me, but I'm not even in recovery. So the reason why I started was 3 reasons. I lost my best friend to addiction and suicide. I lost my brother-in-law who struggled with depression, addiction, ended up taking his life. And most importantly, I lost my sister who struggled with alcoholism and bulimia. So, they are my inspiration behind this. And my job and my goal and my passion and purpose in life is to connect with all you recovery rock stars, get your stories out there to deliver the message of hope and inspire others. And
thank you for doing that. And and helping people. And, you know, if you're anybody out there listening or whatever, being a recovery rock star, if you aren't using for one day, you're a rock star, because addicts and alcoholics use every single day. So every day you don't use, you're a rock star.
I agree. But I'm going to switch it back over to you real quick, because I want to hear, you know, I love the band Korn. What was your favorite concert that you did, the most memorable concert that you had with Korn?
So I was in a band before Korn called Head PE, and we played the festivals in Europe are incredible. We played these two that every band knows. It's called Rock am Ring and Rock am Park. Rock am Ring is it's huge, 60,000 people. So I played it with Head, but I was so tweaked out on diet pills that I was just a mess. So 10 years later, when I remember, I thought my music career was over. 10 years later to the day, I played it again. And instead of 2 o'clock in the afternoon, tweaked out on diet pills, playing like shit, wearing dirty clothes because I was just a mess, I got to go back and play it again with Korn 10 years later. And this gnarly lightning storm hit, and lightning was shooting sideways and left ways. It was freaking insane. And
That's awesome. Yeah.
The skies were purple, and you can't even see the end of the people. And it was like, I get chills now telling the story, because it was 10 years today. It's like, this is the miracle of sobriety. I'm not afraid that I got to hide from booze. My sobriety got me the gig with Korn, and I just was giving so much thanks to the universe. It was cool. Love from POD was right next to me. It was just a magical.
So rad. Yeah. Well, I'm giving love to the universe and to you, man. Again, I appreciate you doing this and taking your time out, and keep doing what you're doing with Rock to Recovery. I respect and appreciate you.
Same here. I thank you so much for what you do. Much love, my friend. Thanks for the opportunity. Yes, it's R2D2.
See you, Wes.
All right. See you later, man.
Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you all.